prizes. Fantastic. I have a couple donations that have rolled in here. I have $20 from Demon RHK, who says, been an amazing week of runs so far. Hyped to watch more great RPG runs. Putting in to name one of the Light Warriors in FF1 co-op rando, OFGC, so we can be with Swanee in spirit. We have $5 from Ceaselessly. Illy RPG Limit Break. Good luck, everyone. $10 from Circe, Shut Up and Take My Pixels, and $25 from Sweet Peebs, with no donation comment, but it's very appreciated. All right, and with all that read, we are set up for the Coder 2 run by 30 cents. And this is any percent, no dev tools. Take it away.
Hey y'all, this is 30 Cents. I go by 30, and today I'm going to be speedrunning Knights of the Republic 2, The Sith Lords. This is a sequel to the first game. It takes place 5 years after the first game. With me, I got two familiar faces with me. I got LK47, I got Sanjan with me, and they're going to help me commentate my run.
Yeah, we've both run KOTOR games at some point. Me, much earlier. The game has gone a long way since then, so be ready. Buckle your pants, as the Battle Block Theater people might say.
This game is really broken, so...
Yeah, this game is really broken, but 30 will be running a sort of less broken version of this game, but it's still quite broken, as you're going to see here. So 30's going to specifically pick a female Jedi Guardian here. That's going to be very important, because Jedi Guardians have a force... Well, you're not really going to use like force jumps here, but it's just basically like the most convenient class, because you do get tankiness and skills at level skills at level 2.
You get the skills you need, you get more feats, and that actually becomes a little bit important. There's a lot of shenanigans that keeps you at low level here, but we'll get into that as we get into it. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into this run, so we'll try to cover it as best as we can.
Yeah, so this character creation isn't timed, but we go for max strength and 14 dexterity, 14 constitution, and I believe 10 wisdom for just a little bit of more force power.
Yeah, it looks like Darth Jar Jar, which is amusing since we're not going the dark side route here. We're actually kind of going more gray.
I believe Darth Jar Jar is the name we've chosen, correct?
Incorrect, unfortunately. We actually got a last-minute donation in here, and the name will be Cupcake.
Oh, the good old Snipe.
Good name. Very good name.
The redemption of Cupcake.
Redemption of Cupcake, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so the first part, I'm going to skip the prologue because that is useless.
Yeah, you can get some stuff there, but it takes time to get it and we don't need it. Now immediately we're going into a glitch here.
Yeah, so this glitch is called the Anywhere Menu glitch. You basically press Alt plus F4, not that kind of Alt plus F4. Thankfully in this game you don't automatically quit out. And so he's gonna basically kind of cancel it and then spam save to basically skip this cutscene. You can't do it immediately, because if you kind of like do it just before like your character kind of wakes up, you kind of soft lock.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of interrupting of scripts in this run. And the Anywhere Menu glitch is one of the most used versions of that kind of technique, where you just interrupt a script in a way that doesn't stop you from progressing in the game, and then take advantage of it. So this plasma torch is important because it breaks things quick.
It's actually a really good weapon because it opens doors honestly faster than a lightsaber. It's going to be a pretty useful tool to basically just like open doors, so it'd be nice for 30 to keep it with him. So the last thing you saw when we skipped the Kreia cutscene was a hard buffer. something called a hard buffer. So what you do is basically spam quick save, and then until like you kind of see the cutscene kind of like fade in, and then you quick load, and then you load your save so that you skip the cutscene.
Meanwhile, we do very much want to go talk to Attenrand here because there is a potential cutscene that can happen later if you get all of the default values for like what happened in KOTOR 1. And talking to him, you determine some things like Revan's gender, whether Revan was dark side or light side, and that means like whether Carthonasi survived or died as well. And Carth has a long cutscene at the very end if you do not select the correct option here.
Yeah, it's an unskippable 2-minute cutscene that you get if you pick him. So what 30's outfit is, what 30's going to do is just spam 1 so that we get the default choices, Dark Side Revan, Karth, dying,
Yeah, but it's important to actually set the flags here.
Yeah.
So there's a glitch coming up called a displaced loading zone, and I'm not casting force speed here because I also want to move as slow as possible for this glitch.
Yeah, so this glitch is extremely precise. Like if you line up your X coordinates exactly to the same as where like a door loading zone is, you'll basically kind of like teleport to that door. That was
I got
really
it instantly.
Nice. Yeah, it is bit precise. You have to be incredibly precise. There are things that we use to line ourselves up. Basically, anything that you can do to set yourself in a certain position and like kind of go across at the right angle, as well as turning off VSync because more frames that the game processes means more chances to actually get that value properly. So he's turning VSync back on here to cap the frame rate back at 60 FPS. And that is going to make DLZs harder, but it influences other glitches and skips in a positive way for us. So it's generally better, unless you're doing a DLZ, to run it with VSync on.
Yeah, generally, like if you turn VSync off, like the saves are really fast.
And this is force speed.
Yeah, this is if you thought so, like they basically got the feedback from KOTOR 1 that the space suit was really slow, and then they kind of like reversed it, so they made this basically go light speed.
And a hard buffer here to avoid the Harbinger arriving cutscene, which is unconscionably long. It is far longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes long.
The only category you actually watch that cutscene in is glitchless.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically glitchless, you can't do any hard buffers, you can't do DLZs, you can't do any major glitches.
Yeah, so I guess we can discuss a little bit story-wise. We basically we're kind of like basically the last Jedi, because in the events following KOTOR 1, all of the Jedi, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, kind of got yeeted, and then there's these 3 like kind of big Sith lords that were a big part of it, and then you're basically the last Jedi now, and you wake up in this place and you gotta escape from it.
So sometimes you can get frozen there, it's really annoying, but if you move quickly, then that last one is the only one that's likely to happen, and even then they have to basically select that ability. The robots do.
And so we actually meet a very important character here, Kreia. She's a very mysterious Jedi, or like a Jedi lady. But she has actually some really useful abilities, which we don't see as much here. But when you cast, so basically Kreia and your main character, the Exile, has a force bond. So basically, like whatever positive force spell that you cast, like for example force speed, the other person will get it. So you can think of her basically kind of like a, Star Wars' HM friend.
Yeah, buffing the main character, using her force points instead of yours, it's useful.
So we loot some ion grenades here for some later useful battles.
Another AMG here.
Another AMG here to skip fighting HK-50.
It's a pretty long fight, so it's very helpful that we could skip this. And I'm going to intentionally turn the game on difficult. I'm playing this game on easy, but the difficulty, making the game harder only makes the game longer, so it's also
Yeah.
nothing interesting either.
One of the things that they did in KOTOR 1 was they made you gather your party before you left an area. Here, they relaxed that to basically being alive. So there's a technique there called Gather Your Party Warp. This is Revive Your Party Warp, or RIP appropriately, though it's spelled with a Y. And so 30 is using that to basically load the wrong area, and you're going to see, if all goes well.
Yeah, so he's gonna put Kreia into like a very specific spot here, and then once this kind of like little bait-in is that tells us you have to wait for your party. At the end, he's gonna basically kind of warp Kreia to this area, and so he has to basically kind of like get to the other side to be able to kind of like rip warp again to basically pass the force field that is kind of like blocking here.
And there's no other way past this force field other than, well, you have to blow up the grenade or the mines in those tunnels, but that's pretty slow, so we don't want to do that.
Say the word.
So now here we are much later in Paragus. There's a whole long section that this skips, and obviously that's nice, it's fast.
Yeah, spoilers, sorry for those who like T3, we're not getting T3.
And I have to make a very important save after I get to the Ebon Hawk, the ship that's right down there. I'm getting to right now. Yep.
And yeah, that warps you all the way back to the Ebon Hawk. So sorry for everyone's ears. This mini game is not sound. They didn't soundproof this. It's gonna be really loud for a little bit till the end of this. But he's basically shooting the Sith chasing.
Yeah, you want to
us.
kill all of these guys specifically so that you don't have to fight them on the ship, which is really slow. So he's trying not to shoot too much here, but it, yeah, it's loud.
I think while 30 goes shooty on these Sith, you can talk a little bit about kind of the charity
Or maybe yell
donations
some
or whatever.
donations.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
some stuff.
That's what I'm here for. I have $25 from Prof NES with no donation comment. I have $25 from Felix Dubois with no donation comment. I have $50 from Erebus with no donation comment. And I have $10 from Anonymous, who sends a smiley face.
Yeah, I think you have to kill at the total like 33 Sith here. Nice. That was quick. And then
Well,
I believe you can also AMG this, but you basically kind of like got the buffer already.
Yeah. And also that cutscene was glitched because I don't have T3 with me. So that first cutscene doesn't play correctly.
But yeah, once we get to the next planet, there's going to be a fair amount of stuff going on. So if you want to say something real quick, now is a good time.
Sure. I'll just remind everyone that the glitch exhibition for after the run is over is still $500 away from being met. So if you want to see some even worse glitches, or better, however you want to frame it, get those donations in.
Yeah, like what you're seeing right now can lead to some other shenanigans, as you might have guessed by the title of the category, which we'll talk about in a little bit because that's when it comes up, where the routes basically diverge.
Yeah, so basically we kind of skip the cutscene where we get arrested here, and 30 is gonna perform this glitch called clip, a door clip. So basically, he's gonna basically bring an Atten, and this is kind of RNG and position based, but basically when we bring Atten in, we kind of hope that he's gonna spawn on the other side of this wall here,
say the word.
which will let us skip a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, basically skipping farther into the quest line by getting an item that you need to collect at some point during it. Of course, these are just finicky. They're not hard, they're finicky.
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, Atten's not doing this job, buddy.
What is?
Yeah, this glitch can be like really finicky because it's random where he kind of spawns.
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, and a classic case of it taking far longer than it did in practice.
It's the good old marathon luck. So this basically kind of skips the whole entire segment where we kind of have to, you know, pick a side with the Dorians or the Zerka, or to help them out. Because plot-wise, TLDR, we kind of got our ship stolen on our way, and you know, we kind of need to go get it back. And so they're just trying to find a way out of the station so that they can search for the ship.
There is a chance that the cutscene could soft lock right here, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, it didn't soft lock.
Yeah, so we're gonna help the Dorians here because it's faster. There is actually a faster route that involves helping Zerka. I think that's how you call them. I
Zerka,
can't
yeah.
pronounce their name right, but it does involve a displaced loading glitch, and it's very hard to get like in a run. It's not very marathon safe.
Yeah, the one you saw earlier was by no means easy. Like, none of them really are, totally. But this one is significantly more difficult, so we're doing a slightly slower, only slightly, marathon-safe version of it here. There are about a dozen different ways to do most things in both this and the first KOTOR game.
Yeah, DLCs are also a big thing in KOTOR 1 as well.
Welcome to one moment.
Yeah, so when we enter this module, we pretty much incidentally get our weapons removed because it acts like we were arrested, but we can just get our stuff back.
Plus a little bit of extra stuff, which is nice.
Yeah.
So now, heading over here, there are a couple things that are going to happen. One of which is going into the cantina here. There are a couple characters that are important for the plot in this area. One of which is Luxa here, so just going to kind of talk to her for some plot progression. And that is necessary for the helping the Ithorians, because you need to deal with Lopax Slusk one way or another. And she's your way to do that, basically.
Yeah, we're basically kind of like errand runners for the Dorians, but we're of course going to basically do the go through this really fast. Like, this is going to be done very fast in comparison to like Glitchless, where you have to like basically run around a lot. You don't run around as much here.
Yeah, so if you think about the theme of interrupting scripts, well, there's going to be a couple of that here, and that's going to avoid some fighting. But then at the end, I'm going to take the option to basically turn on Luxa and instead say, Slusk, you just need to leave. And he will, because he wants to live.
Yeah, so we use a hard buffer there to skip that big fight. A lot of them are pretty annoying to kill. And then Larry's just going to throw one of the ion grenades that we looted earlier here. And then just kind of size them up with the vibro blade.
And I actually have 2 ion grenades here, and that's actually a really good thing, because I usually don't have 2 ion grenades at this part, because I end up using most of them to do rip warp. But throwing an ion grenade here, sometimes it will get rid of a couple of these Gamorreans, sometimes it'll just weaken them to the point where they have only 1 hit left. And having 2 ion grenades there is very, very helpful.
Yeah, so now Slusk is going to back off the Ithorians, and that's good. That's what they wanted you to do, and now there's like one other little thing that they need you to do. And there's the serious way to do this involves
Just say the word.
getting it involves a really long walk with a droid. It's slow, so we don't have time for that.
Yeah, we don't need no stinking droid to get into the mainframe. We've got our good old friend Clips and Warps.
I hear you.
What is it?
I hear
I
you.
didn't need to turn on solo mode there, but that's fine.
So we gotta talk to this Zerka person to be able to get the credentials that we need, but we're not gonna get the credentials, of course. That was just to progress the story.
Yeah, you need a little persuade to be able to do that.
Having effect mine and high points in persuasion really helps that conversation. If you don't, then you have to pay him 500 credits, which we don't have.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to this Rhodian here, and we're gonna buy some gear, and then so 30's also gonna perform a glitch here,
Isn't
and
this a Duros? Yeah,
Duros?
these are both Duros, I
Aw.
think.
my bad. Yeah, they're both Duros, but basically, we're gonna perform a glitch here, so he's gonna buy a high item value that throws over a prompt, and he's gonna intentionally go under it, and when we close out of this, after doing the anywhere menu glitch, it's still gonna let us buy it, and we're basically gonna get into a credit card debt, as I like to call it here, and then now we can basically, so this is a credits underflow glitch, and now we can basically buy whatever we want. So he's gonna buy a bunch of alacrities or adrenal stims here to help us out, because we are gonna be pretty weak for this entire speed run.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very weak.
And we're gonna be buying a truckload of med packs. So basically the big thing about this is kind of like we're gonna be using kind of like a normal build to get through the game, as opposed to the any percent unrestricted category. So the any percent unrestricted category basically allows us to use kind of what we call a dev glitch, which turns us into a dev character, and it gives us like really nice force powers, and then a lightsaber and a very overpowered weapon called the Kill Blaster, which if it hits you, you're basically dead, or like it basically instantly kills.
Yeah, so then the difference in the route would be just not discovering that area, not popping in right here. So
I do not
the scripts would be kind of messed up, and
hear you.
we don't want that for this category, so we pop in there to prevent getting the dev stuff, becoming the dev character.
Yeah, we'll explain kind of later as it goes, but there's kind of like one main way to get that glitch
I hear you. What
to become a dev character, but we're gonna specifically avoid that in a speed run. So we're gonna start off with what we call here a hotshot glitch. So you noticed earlier 30 saved inside the 30's gonna save inside the exchange building here, and then basically kind of like transfer his save data to another save data. So you
Yeah.
can kind of think of it as like a really fancy time warp.
Without getting into too much detail, the basic idea is that certain things are saved in different ways, and by taking advantage of that using anywhere menu glitch and kind of having like stacked menus on top of each other, you are able to transfer data between saves. And if you do that strategically, you can do a lot of really silly things.
Yeah, so what 30 just did there was he used hotshot to basically kind of warp his party members, because your party members will basically kind of spawn in different places depending on where they're standing at the time of the save. So he has basically to get Kreia into the mainframe and then just basically kind of do it as if he was a droid, and that allows us to skip the entire droid segment. And now he's done with that, and the Orions have now let him kind of use the ship.
They need help, but that takes time. So
Yeah.
sorry, but thanks
I
for
mean,
the ship.
they already agreed to give us a ship, so
Yeah.
Get some Bible thumps in the chat. We're not gonna rescue the Ithorians. Sag.
We're only kind of light side leaning here. Not really.
I mean, we're on the side of going fast.
On the side of going fast. It kind of ends up in a lot of gray areas, but hey, gray Jedi are a thing. So now we get shot down. Because of course.
Why not? Also, we are going to meet one of the Exile's old friends, also ASMR Zabrak, good old Baeldur.
Same species as Darth Maul, for those of you who might wonder what a Zabrak is.
I think when he turns I think you turn him dark side.
Yeah, he gets some pretty cool
Yeah.
war paint as well. A lot of the other characters just turn goth. Because there's an influence system here, and if you get a lot of influence with your party members, they will kind of follow whichever path you are to some extent, at least.
It's a very, very unique part of the game.
Yeah, I love this game. Even if it was rushed out the door a little bit, they had to cut some stuff. We are not playing with the restored content mod because this is supposed to be a run of the vanilla game. So that's
Yeah,
what we're
mods,
doing.
at least for like our speed runs, mods are forbidden, and that includes the restoration mod. even with the restoration mod, it would just like add time to the category because there's extra cutscenes that you'd have to deal with and extra fights.
So for those who actually don't know, you could actually use med packs within the inventory menu. You don't actually have to stop and use up med packs, which is very convenient because I'm going to be using it quite a bit near the end of the game. I'm not going to be using it so much at this part because I'm not going to be taking so much damage. I'm only just getting some pretty gnarly RNG with taking damage here.
Yeah, using a couple buffer techniques to interrupt these fights starting so that you don't have to kill everything here, which is really slow because there's a lot of stuff to fight here. And then in order to actually get into this area without having triggered everything that you need to do to normally progress, doing a trick called a save
Teleport.
teleport words.
That save teleport and the getting into here is very, very... It's not super hard, but it's very finicky.
Yeah, there's kind of like a area between the loading zone where like you get automatically sent back since you haven't done quest stuff.
Yeah, Baojer just kind of interrupts you and he tells you, we need to go back and activate this terminal, but that's slow, so...
So instead we're going to get slidey Baodur here. In this state, he can get stunned, but he's not going to get shot at all, which is nice because you can see how many enemies there are in this area. And if we don't have to deal with them, then so much the better.
Yeah, this part is actually really bad in glitch lists.
It is very bad in glitchless. It's like a run killer.
Yeah,
and it's about 30 minutes into a glitchless run.
Yeah, but this trick is just basically using AMG to use AMG and then you get into a dialogue and then you cancel it and tap to Baelder and you can basically kind of like walk through scot-free aside from getting stunned. So he's also gonna turn off kind of separate or solo mode.
General?
But that
What is it?
Yeah?
he can warp his party over here.
What is it?
Yeah?
And then he's gonna use
Yes.
this glitch again.
What is it?
Let's go.
Since there is another row of really annoying robots that you have to deal with.
Yeah, you have to go all around this kind of inverted question mark shaped area. And there's a whole lot of stuff to do, a whole lot of enemies. But the basic idea is you want to kind of unlock down the area and get the ship, like open the bay doors so that you can get the ship out.
Yeah, you see like the shooting animation, but nothing's coming out. But he does have to kind of like get out of this state in order to interact with the console here. And so he's gonna pause so that he can aim successfully.
That was really loud.
Yeah, this game does not balance audio
Oh,
between
that's
certain
really
things very
unfortunate
well.
that Freya warped over.
I didn't turn on solo mode.
Oh, I see.
This is not good, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use I think I'm just gonna use main character to go there and get the data pad that I need. I forgot to turn on solo mode, so this is not supposed to happen.
I think you can level up Freya to keep her healed in between. She's
Okay,
taking
never
care
mind.
of
Main
them.
character is actually taking care of them.
Wow, that's a first.
Yeah. Well, things worked out in the end.
Yeah, it's just gonna be slightly slower since you actually want to kind of separate your party to have someone near the hangar and then someone near that door, but it's fine. So we're gonna do another AMG here. We have to wait till this door opens or else you basically soft lock.
And the point of doing that is to skip a boss fight that is really slow.
Mm-hmm. There's this big droid that you otherwise have to fight, and it has really high defenses, annoying abilities, a lot of health.
Went the wrong way for a moment.
And so he's got the door open now, and since we skipped the fight, we're basically we can basically get on the ship again and then go to the place where apparently our ship is. So I think perhaps we have time for some
Yeah, we have
announcements.
we have a
you
little
want
bit
to
of time
make?
here.
Oh, sure thing. I have $25 from Will Am I. Let's go, 30. Good luck on the run.
Thank you.
I have $10 from Gambit17, who says, let's see those Coder 2 glitches. Donating towards that glitch incentive. We keep getting a little bit closer, but got a little bit more work to do, guys. And round things out, I got $20 from Anonymous with no comment, but thank you very much for supporting Nami.
Y'all should donate for the glitch exhibition. It's really cool. Like, it's you'll understand like if you see like how broken Coder 2 is.
Yeah, and we're not even showing all the glitches there are because there's so many. We're just showing some of the ones that are maybe a bit less well known. But at any rate, here you get shot down again, but fortunately we're where we need to be.
Lay down your weapons, and
Now
you shall not
we
be
need to do
harmed.
the Atris skip, and that means essentially that you have to interrupt things at the right place in the right way. So he used that AMG in a specific place to stop the Atris dialogue, and now you can go to the Ebon Hawk. The problem is you don't have T3.
Did you?
So it would soft lock. But if you recall the hotshot, where there is a way to kind of transfer data from one save to another, that is something that you can use to get back onto the Ebon Hawk, which is why it was very important earlier that 30 put that save, that hard save, on the Ebon Hawk.
And so the cutscene is going to immediately soft lock after this cutscene. So the only way out of this cutscene is to go to that, is to hotshot to that save file I made earlier. That's the only way out of this cutscene. Otherwise, we would be permanently soft locked here forever.
And so now that we've kind of like transferred over, like we can kind of basically proceed with the main game.
So I have to make a little detour to Dantooine here because I have to make a hard save. Well, I don't necessarily have to make a hard save, but it's way faster if I do.
General?
Yeah, so when you enter, every time you enter the Ebon Hawk, there's just going to be like long cutscenes between your companions, and we just AMG out of it because these cutscenes are really long. But what 30's basically going to be doing is kind of like preparing for the end game and getting characters.
I guess this block.
Technically, there is a faster way of kind of like skipping other major characters like Mandalore, but it
Yeah.
does involve an extremely hard a DLC.
Yeah, you need either Mandalore as a female character or as a male character, Visas, and we don't have anywhere near enough light or dark side points to get Visas. So instead, we're going to recruit Mandalore, and that involves coming here. There's a bit of a running section here. Then he's going to have to do some quests for the Mandalorians, and that's going to involve pretty much splitting up the party so you do a bunch of things at once. And also an annoying fight against an enemy called a Zakeg, which has really high defenses. But that's all just so that we can get Mandalore in the party to avoid a soft lock later.
Yeah, we specifically want Mandalore in the party, and we want to get Disciple. And then that's basically all the characters we need for the end game. Because of course, yes, 30 will later be kind of using a glitch to get to the end game much faster than intended. Nice hard buffer to avoid that cutscene there.
And also, I'm choosing not to use save teleports so much because watching a quick save load screen is pretty boring, so I'm trying not to use them so much. Instead, I'm
You can
running.
use them pretty much all over the place, and the main risk is that if you use it too much, you might have to reset your game or it'll crash because there's a memory leak, and that's native to the engine for the game.
It's not so much common in this game as much as it is in Coder 1. In Coder 1, basically crashes after, I think it's like a gigabyte of memory. I don't remember.
I think Coder 1 is like 1.5 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Even if-
Oh yeah, I think it's 1.5.
Even if you have more, it's not allowed to allocate more because, old games, they don't usually...
It's a game from 2000.
2004.
Yeah, I mean,
Coder 1 came out in 2003. This came out in 2004.
yeah, so the thing about save teleports is that they become really strong, like, as you go through more modules. So, and you can use like even earlier, but as 30 says, we do it for the viewers. We're trying not to show the save and load simulator or saving simulator, but he will use it to kind of like help get through this area because there's a lot of mobs around this area, and our party's of course like really low level. So I think I forgot to talk about like one of the effects of hot shots, and that is like when you revert back, you still have that level that you had from that save that you kind of like did the fancy hot shot to. So
Yeah, from the original save, not the one there. So basically what was transferred was quest data and flags like that onto a much earlier and lower level character.
yeah, so you're gonna see kind of like 30 just like leveling up over and over again at the same levels just to make sure everything's okay. So this is kind of like part of the side quest that you have to do. You have to kill the Canucks to get the parts, and there are actually very specific ones that you can kill. Like you know you're killing the right one if they have like around 30 HP, and that's really rude of them. That is an inopportune stun. But yeah, the unique thing about these save teleports as well is that if you use like force speed, etc., like the save teleport direction and strength is a little bit less, so he kind of has to just balance it between. But we do another little side quest here with the detonator. Just I believe a one spam, or not a one spam, but just spam to kind of help him out. And he's gonna be doing some macroing here to have Kreia take care of the Canucks in the meantime. And then we just leave Bailder at the entrance whenever we're done.
This one followed me, so I'm gonna get rid of him too.
So I basically have to do kind of like all these little mini side quests to impress Mandalore so that he can take us to Onderon. But that's also when we get him as a companion.
I'm just using save teleports in moderation here. I'm just using save teleports to get myself away from these enemies here.
Yeah, the next kind of like little boss coming up is a keg, and they're really tanky and beefy. They have a lot of defense, which this game is kind of based on the Dungeons and Dragons.
The D20 system, I might add.
Yeah, it's closest related to the 3.0 version.
Yeah, and 30 does have to kind of like eventually start using med packs here and such, because we're gonna be like pretty low level all throughout. And then so while 30 is busy with the Sakag on his main character, we're gonna go take Kreia on another trip. I don't think you do the detonator till after killing the Sakag, right?
I can do it anytime I want to. I can do it right now, which I am gonna actually do right now.
Yeah, this won't teleport the main character, so it's fine. So you just basically, it's just a lot of multitasking.
It's taken forever. There we go.
Nice, that's a good, you got a good hit there. And so now that we're done, we're just basically...
I think I did loot the phase part.
Oh, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, if I didn't loot it, it's not that much of a time loss anyway. So, I didn't mention this earlier, but the text is instant. Yeah, I didn't loot it.
Alright, so we just have to run back with Kreia. I think you didn't get the one on Kreia's side, right?
Yeah, I didn't get the one on Kreia. But oh well, it's not that big of a time loss, it's just backtracking.
Alright, so I guess while 30 backtracks a little to grab the last power converter, if you have anything to say, here's some little bit of time.
Always. I have $5 from RP Priya, who says, "Good to see you here, 30 Cent. Good luck on your run." I have $50 from Anonymous, who says, "Long live the Emperor." And finally, $25 from Mellow Yellow. "Good luck, 30. I always enjoyed Coder 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing it beat in such a short fashion."
Alright, so I think with this, now we have, oh yeah, good to backtrack to him for some advanced med packs. Technically, you can go without the advanced med packs, but
This is a
we're
marathon
just-
safety
yeah,
thing
this
because
is-
later on in the game, he's going to be running through a lot of very strong enemies at a very low level.
But I want to be a Dark Jedi. It's okay.
We're not gonna equip that yet.
Oh yeah, you don't want to equip that yet.
Yeah. Basically, when you hotshot, you basically like the equipment you're wearing. It's gonna basically.
After that, we'll head out.
It doesn't. I believe it doesn't transfer over, so that's why
Yeah.
you don't want to equip that.
They check out Mandalore, all systems are green. Good.
So this next section here is basically unsurprisingly, they're gonna get attacked
Do
by
you
the
wonder-
Sith here,
I know many.
and it's gonna be really annoying because these Sith are pretty annoying to kill, and there's a lot of them. And
So you can actually skip this first part here, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. And you get teleport over here. It saves a little bit of time.
yeah, there's gonna be like 20 of them attacking you, but you can also use frag grenades to kind of make it a little shorter.
Yeah, enemies level up, and grenades and such are most effective at low level. So the fact that we're low level makes them all the more effective.
Yeah, there are kind of like quite a few Sith enemies, but you basically want to kill like the lower HP ones. Like if there's any high HP ones, you can tell when their HP barely goes down. Once you kill all kind of like the low level like Sith assassins, you just basically need to get into combat. At least that's my theory, and then you're basically kind of good to go.
Yeah, there's certain ones that you need to kill in particular in order to progress here, so that's the main goal here. Kill a certain number of them, kill certain ones.
I think these two are.
Yeah, they're not gonna help much. Well, help them stay in place. There we go.
So spoilers, we're not actually going to do Onderon. We just wanted to pick up Mandalore. So we're going to use a hot shot back to Dantooine.
So much for all that experience.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fine.
It will be fine. Who needs levels?
Who needs levels?
Levels are just a number.
We have glitches and strats.
Yeah. Levels, honestly, in Coder are
Ooh,
just.
I actually got a vibro sword. It's actually better.
Nice.
Nice. So we have to basically go head on over to the Enclave here.
I'm actually going to use my safe teleports here because they're very, very noticeable.
Yeah, they're pretty powerful at this point.
Yeah, so we do need one more character, and that is the Disciple here.
And I need Disciple, aka Mikal, because if I don't get him, then the game will permanently soft lock on the Ebon Hawk after the rebuilt Jedi Enclave cutscene.
Yeah, so basically since we didn't talk to the people at the Enclave, we got a kind of clip in here, so we're gonna do another fun times kind of door clip here. Nice.
Hey, that was really good.
That's really good.
So we had the reverse of what happened in practice, where this one was super cooperative.
And so basically, we're just gonna save teleport over these little guys here. We do equip the plasma torch because there's a door that we do need to open. Yeah, so apologies to all the viewers, but these save teleports are extremely powerful, and these little these little guys actually hurt a lot.
Lagrix.
Lagrix. And then after that, we can just kind of kick everyone out. So 30's also gonna level up back again here, since we do need stats for the upcoming stuff. And then he's gonna hotshot back to...
I don't know why I did that level up, because I'm gonna immediately lose my levels again.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, but you were on a roll, so I was like, yeah. It doesn't take that long to do that level.
Yeah.
No.
So we're gonna hotshot back to the Enclave again here.
Oh, no, I'll just do that level on Ravager, because I don't really need it right now. Anyway.
And then we're gonna do like an even harder version of kind of that clip, so...
Yeah, so this is this is another clip, but there are a bunch of enemies around, and it's
This is really
slow
good.
to
Wow,
get.
This is
that's,
really good RNG.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So he's managed to get over to this door without getting put into combat. That is incredibly important. Now he can bring in other characters and use them and their positioning, as long as he doesn't get hit, to get a clip into that door. Once he does, he is able to go and trigger a cutscene that is basically in the end game and go to the end game.
Oh, that's really good positioning.
I might have to move. Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
wow,
Yeah,
that was
nice.
instant. That was really good.
That is a lot harder than he made it seem right there.
Yeah, actually, this is probably like one of the really hard parts, because now you had, like, for this clip, you had to basically deal with, like, setting it up. Setting it up is essentially the hardest part.
And now we are at the end of the game just by simply clipping into that door. So I didn't do any planets in this game other than Telos and half of, well, not even half of Duxon / Onderon.
Maybe like a third.
I did a quarter of it. Well, yeah, I would say about a third.
Yeah, there's a lot more in Onderon, and you have to make 2 trips.
Yeah, you have to make 2 trips to get Kavar.
Yeah, you have to do really annoying stuff like Narshada, Timofree, the Nat, etc., etc.
But there's a murder mystery.
That's overrated. I always say no. I've got better stuff. Also, Kreia goes Super Saiyan here.
So, yeah, she reveals herself as Darth Treya, the Betrayer.
Now, she basically 1v3s the entire set of Jedi Masters that we totally rescued, by the way.
And now we have a power called Force Enlightenment. It activates all your positive buffs at once. And that's going to be nice for a couple fights because buffing quickly is good.
Yeah, it probably gives you, like, it combines the Force Enlightenment combines the effects of Force Speed, Force Aura, and Force Valor all in one. So that's a very convenient.
Unfortunately,
such a
Aura is
quiet
bugged, but
thing.
whatever.
To fall, but far more terrible.
I think
is
what
to admit
what level
it.
you get of it's based on what level you already have. So since 30 has basic speed and Force Valor, but it's still like very good to cast just because it's like one singular cast.
So if we were playing as a male character here, then Handmaiden would have to fight Atris, and that is slow. Slower, in fact, than what you would gain by being able to get Visas instead. And that's partly because you would lose certain things with hotshots, and all sorts of shenanigans go into it.
Yeah, so we're basically plot-wise, after Kreia kind of yeeted the Sith Council, Atris kind of turned to the dark side, and we're gonna be here to show a lesson to her.
I didn't do my level up.
Well, take a moment then and remind people that we do have that glitch exhibition donation incentive that is still yet to be met. If you are donating for it, don't forget to use the ad incentive. Otherwise, it doesn't quite count.
You've got about 15-20 minutes to go. Because we're basically kind of at the end game. We just got the Ravager and then Malachor. And that's basically it. So get your donations in quick. You won't want to miss this glitch exhibition. So we're basically kind of tells the station is now under attack by our unfriendly neighborhood group of Sith.
Yeah, one of the main antagonists, Darth Nihilus, and his ship, the Ravager, are here.
Yeah, Darth Nihilus is one of the big kind of like super villains. He's very hungry and he eats planets for their life force, like a Cookie Monster eats cookies.
Pretty much.
We will.
Yeah, so this is why we need to recruit Mandalore here. If we didn't have Mandalore, we would have to essentially kind of like DLC into like the loading zone for the next area, and that's probably the hardest.
It's not the hardest DLZ, but it's definitely the hardest DLZ in this run.
Yeah, and for marathon safety, it's just basically safer to go grab Mandalore. And so we skip a 2-minute cutscene here of Mandalore.
And what I just did there, this is my first instance of using that glitch, but basically I casted force speed and then I immediately use an adrenal alacrity, and that basically keeps my force speed on for the rest of the area. It's called a duration glitch.
Yeah, in this game it's not as strong as it is in Knights of the Old Republic 1, because in Knights of the Old Republic 1, your force powers and your stims are kind of granted like artificial extension every time you transition through an area. But here, like, you just mainly use it to kind of like, since alacrities last like much longer, you basically use it to keep kind of like force speed, because force speed gives you more movement speed than an alacrity. So now on the Ravager, we're basically kind of like plot-wise trying to blow it up and then deal with Nihilus here. So this area is actually like pretty dangerous because these Sith, there's a lot of these Sith and they deal a lot of damage. And then so 30's gonna AMG this cutscene here so that we can basically kind of skip
Only one proton.
You're supposed to get a 4th proton core from a missile in this area, but that's really slow. So that AMG cancel, quick save, quick load skips that. Needing to get that.
Yeah, normally after you plant the 3rd one, there's gonna be a cutscene that says, oh, we kind of lost the person with the 4th proton core and you have to go backtrack to get an extra one. So we're basically kind of like walk through more. So if here, it's still a little bit dangerous, so 30S basically kind of like watches HP. And then we're gonna head up to the Nihilus fight here, which is pretty hilarious because there's a half-naked Jedi and he's basically dealing with an entire army's worth of Sith. And
Well,
Sith Lords.
running past.
Yeah,
dealing
running
with
past
the
them.
Sith Lord, at least.
Yeah. Running past everyone and just dealing with the Sith Lord in the name of speed.
Yeah, you don't even have a lightsaber.
And this is No Face. No, I'm just kidding. It's Darth Nihilus. But if you're not familiar with this game, the design for Darth Nihilus was actually heavily influenced from No Face, the character from Spirited Away.
You know, I for one would expect, you know, evil Sith Lord, the lightsaber looking really cool, but then like in this speedrun, naked or half-naked lady with vibro blade wins every time. So after 30 takes care of Nihilus here, this cutscene eventually basically glitches out because we're supposed to have Nihilus. I mean, not Nihilus. We're supposed to have Visas with us. Oh, that's some bad.
This
rolls.
is not.
Got a couple crits early on, but now
There we
things
go.
normalized a bit.
Yeah, so you can quick save here, and then they'll basically still kind of proceed with the story.
Yeah, and that prevents you needing to get visas. Also, it just kind of means he doesn't deload, so he's just standing there. But he's been dealt with.
He's been cold dealt with. So you can read kind of more announcements as you need, because we're just basically running back to.
Oh, sure thing.
shit.
I have $25 from Iker with no donation comment, but thank you so much for that money towards Nami. And I just want to give a couple shout outs to the various people that helped make this marathon possible, starting with the foreign language restreams. Our French restream can be found over at twitch.tv/Le French Restream, and our Japanese restream can be found at twitch.com/Japanese_restream. Go give them some love and support, because they certainly need it and deserve every bit of it.
Yeah, so there's going to be kind of like a 50-second long cutscene coming up here once we exit the Ravager here. It used to be that we couldn't find a way to like skip any of this cutscene at all, but recently we kind of like found a little mini skip that lets us save about 10 seconds. So what we call here is kind of like called a free look AMG. So what they just did was AMG as the cutscene was beginning, canceling it and then using free look.
This isn't really useful in KOTOR 2, but it is in KOTOR 1 because when you free look in KOTOR 1, it skips the cutscene, but it doesn't work in this game. But I'm just doing this just for fun. But the important time save is this part. I'm consistently quick saving here so that I can skip dialogue faster, and this saves about anywhere between 5 to 10 seconds. And now we're on Malachor. This is the final planet of the game.
Yeah, Malachor 5, without getting too much into the plot, because I highly recommend you play this game if you haven't, is kind of a ruined world and kind of a locus of dark side force energy because a lot of people died here. And going through this whole area, gonna get poisoned a lot. These are actually mines that you can't see. It's not a strictly speaking, its own discrete thing. But there are a lot of high-level enemies from here on out, especially once we get into the Treyas Academy. And they deal a lot of damage. But there are a couple sections here that are going to be skipped via buffers and save warps.
Yeah, so probably the biggest section we're going to skip is the section with remote, where we basically control Baelder's remote, and that part is probably like the worst segment casually because remote can't do anything in.
The Baelder's remote is super weak, and if you get caught if you get stuck between these storm beasts or you get trapped in a little corridor or in between a wall, it's extremely hard to get out of it. So yeah, that's pretty much a given that we're able to hard buffer past it.
Yeah, so there's like a big storm beast here with the cutscene, but we're just basically gonna hard buffer and skip it.
Not enough force points, I mean.
Yeah, we primarily picked Jedi Guardian for just like enhanced combat capabilities, since we do kind of do some melee fighting.
If you had a lightsaber, you are able to force jump, but getting a lightsaber is way too far out of the way, and it would just be faster just to run past everything.
Yeah, for any academy or any category that does the big skip on Dantooine to get to the end game, you're not going to have a lightsaber.
The only categories you actually have a lightsaber in are any percent, not this category, but I'm talking about unrestricted. You have one in glitchless, all planets, and max quests. So the DLZ that I was talking about earlier, it's actually in this area. It is insanely precise though. It's like down to 10,000th of a unit. It is ridiculously precise, so, and it's basically to the point where it's segmented only.
Yeah, so instead going through here, you can see running past tons of enemies. They have a lot of ways to just rack up damage over time, hence the advanced med packs.
Yeah, these Yeah, the Sith here can do a ton of damage to you. So you kind of want to be as careful as possible. And you can't use the Alacrity and Force Speed trick here because at the end of this section, we basically do not want to have like any speed enhancing powers on so that we can kind of basically save teleport through.
Time is coming up in like less than a minute, by the way.
Yeah, so there's Darth Scion, waiting for the buff to run out and then save teleport past him.
Nice.
And that completely skips that fight.
Yeah, so yeah, time's coming up very soon here. You think we're gonna fight Darth Treya, but spoilers, we're not gonna be fighting her. This game's really broken, so what he's gonna do is just save over to her and then kind of hard buffer, kind of turn on the
No doubt
AMG
I've
and
many.
basically buffer, save through her cutscenes. And then so we skip the first phase, and then we just talk to her again.
Time.
And
The game is so incredibly broken you don't even fight the final boss. The final boss is technically Nihilus.
Yeah, if you thought this game was, if you thought this game was broken, any percent is about RTA about 18-20 minutes.
Yeah, the world record right now is 16 minutes 22 seconds, but in real time it's like 22 minutes and 8 seconds, I believe, in RTA.
Yeah, it just kind of tells you like how broken this game is.
Yeah, it's very, very broken. So yeah, that's the end of the game.
So were we able to meet the incentive for the glitch exhibition?
With sadness in my heart, I have to say no.
Oh well. Well,
But-
that's it for Quarter 2. Do I actually have time for, can I at least show off the dev character really quick?
I think we can spare a minute for that.
Okay, good. I do have a save for that. This is dev character. So this method, there's a couple methods of getting dev character, but this is the easiest one if you visited every single area. This method was initially discovered by a runner named Sheet Metal. So you're gonna talk to this race master. You're gonna go into a race, and you're gonna do AMG on the load screen. You're gonna do AMG again. You're gonna cancel it, quick save, open the menu, exit game. You're gonna load up that quick save. And you're gonna immediately forfeit this race, and watch the magic happen.
Oh,
And
hey.
now you are the dev character.
Nice lightsaber.
Thank you. So, to explain the dev character, he comes with a lightsaber equipped and a kill blaster, which kills everything in one hit. Even Darth Nihilus, even Darth Treya, even Scion. It kills everything in one hit.
Yeah, you have a 1 in 20 chance of missing an attack because that's a critical fail, basically. And then the plus 50 attack bonus means you hit. And then the DC 100 death means they have to critically succeed in order to not die.
And so you actually notice that the character portrait is actually different from the model. You're not actually a female. You don't match the female portrait for some reason. I don't know why. You have 66,000 EXP. You're a Jedi Sentinel at level 12, and you're also named Aaron K, which, if you read the lore to this game, then you'll know who Aaron K is. I'm not going to talk about Aaron K because I don't want to spoil anything, but if you ever play this game, you ever read up on the lore, it's very interesting. So I think that's really what I want to show. There is also the dev droid, but I can't go into too much detail about it without giving away too much time. I'd like to...
We didn't meet the incentive either.
Yeah, we didn't meet the incentive, but I at least wanted to show you dev character because it makes this game really, really broken. So I'm gonna give a couple shout outs. Thank you, Alec47, and thank you, Sanjan, for helping me commentate my run. Couldn't do it without y'all. The KOTOR community, they've put a ton of work into this game. Lane, Hotshot, Luffix, Chaos, Range, Glaz, Indy, all have put an immense amount of work into this game, and they're all really, really good speedrunners of this game. Other community members I'd like to point out, I want to point out Ninko. He's a glitchless runner of this game. There's Shoal, there's C-Dubs, there is Ravenclaw, even though he's not really active in this game anymore. Red Mage, he's also a really big fan of this game. He routed all planets, and without him, I couldn't do it. I couldn't make that route at all, so thank you, Red Mage, so much for making that route. Is there anyone else I'm missing at all? Oh yeah, Zero HR. He also does some work on KOTOR 1. He also did the loadless auto splitter for this game too, and in KOTOR 1. And Binks Magnus. He's a really big Star Wars speedrunner as well. He primarily runs Fallen Order, but he does KOTOR 1 speedruns from time to time.
Yeah, there's a couple other community members like Warwolf and Will. Some of them also do swoops and well, there's like basically speedruns for everyone from ILs to full game categories.
Oh yeah,
Even Bazak.
the ladies love me. That's his username. Sober Light and Will MI. I know Will in real life. He's a really awesome friend, and he used to run KOTOR 1 all quests. And thanks for being awesome, Will. Really, really appreciate it. Well, I think that's everything I got to show. Thank you, RBG Limit Break, for having me on here. I really, really appreciate it. I really love this game. It's my favorite game ever. And of course, thank you, Obsidian Entertainment, for making this game. And of course, thank you to George Lucas for making Star Wars.
And thank you, 30 Cents, for the run.
Thank you for having me.
Well, to wrap things up, I have a $10 donation from Taser2 with no donation comment, but thank you all the same. I want to finish thanking a few people that helped the marathon run. We are grateful as RPG Limit Break to LLK, a longtime contributor to GDQ marathons and the designer of our promo banners, attendee badges, and emotes. Check out her work at jazaaboo.com. Jazaboo. And also, the artist who also deserves a special thanks is Uro, who works on our overlays and can be found on Twitter at Urolen. I'll spell that for you. It's Ourolen. Lastly, Carrie Fry deserves a special mention as one of our community artists who designed the RPG Limit Break logo, and Mega Weasel and It's Kaya, who are responsible for some of the emotes you also gain access to by subscribing to this channel. All revenue from the subs and ads we run help to, fundraise future RPG Limit Break marathons. But fret not, 100% of all donations that you click using the donate button go straight to NAMI. And with that, my time has come to an end here. I've been Mediank, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your marathon. But during this break here, unfortunately, my last duty is going to have to send you over to an ad break.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back from the ad break. This is RPG Limit Break 2022. My name is Zick, and I will be your host for this Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster run. So while we wait for things to get set up, let's see, we can read off a few donations here. We have a $10 donation from Taser2. Thank you for the donation. And we have a reminder here coming up for this Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster race that there is a bid incentive to name the characters in the run. So if you want to see a specific name for a character, get those donations in while we get set up. I particularly enjoy the name Beaver leading for Guy. Reminder that we are here supporting NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization, whose work is focused around 3 pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. So what does that mean? Via their 48 state offices and nearly 700 affiliates, NAMI offers a host of signature programs, presentations, and support groups that are available free of charge. This includes a national helpline that can provide information, resources, and a compassionate, understanding, trained volunteer to support anyone who calls in.